Why smart people disagree more than ever. If disagreement feels harder than it used to, that's not your imagination. Something has changed, not just in politics, but in how we relate to people who disagree with us. We live in a time where two intelligent, well-intentioned people can look at the same facts and walk away convinced the other person is not just wrong, but dangerous. Most of us have felt this shift personally. Conversations that once felt challenging now feel tense. Family gatherings have invisible lines. Friendships quietly dissolve. Workplaces tiptoe around topics that used to be normal parts of adult conversation. Disagreement didn't disappear. What disappeared was the assumption of good faith. It used to be possible to think, I strongly disagree with you, but I trust that you're trying to do the right thing. Today, disagreement often comes with a darker assumption. If you don't see this my way, something must be wrong with you. From a progressive point of view, this shift makes sense. Many political issues today feel existential. Climate change, systemic inequality, civil rights. The stakes don't feel theoretical. They feel urgent and personal. When an issue feels tied to survival, dignity, or safety, disagreement doesn't feel like a difference of opinion. It feels like negligence or cruelty. If you believe the house is on fire, you don't debate the color of the alarm. You pull it. Seen through that lens, moral certainty can feel like responsibility, and moral doubt can feel dangerous. But here's the shift that matters most and gets discussed least. We stopped treating disagreement as a difference in values and started treating it as a difference in character. At some point, the question stopped being, why do you believe that? And became, what kind of person believes that? Once disagreement becomes a moral diagnosis, conversation changes completely, because now you're not debating an idea, you're judging a person. When disagreement becomes moralized, three things happen. First, curiosity disappears. You don't ask questions of people you've already judged. Second, disagreement escalates, because moral accusations invite moral defenses, and those defenses harden quickly. Third, and most importantly, error correction breaks. Bad ideas don't get challenged. They get protected, because questioning them feels like betrayal. Healthy societies rely on something deeply unglamorous. Feedback, dissent, the ability to say, I think this might not work. When dissent is treated as immoral, systems lose their ability to self-correct. Mistakes last longer. Costs grow higher. And when failure finally becomes undeniable, the backlash is severe. A conservative framework starts from a less flattering but historically grounded assumption. Human beings are limited. We are biased. We are emotional. And we rarely see the full picture. That's not a cynical view of humanity. It's a cautious one. And caution exists because power magnifies error. When we assume our intentions are pure enough to override disagreement, we stop building systems that protect against our own blind spots. This is where conservatives tend to focus on incentives. Not because intentions don't matter, but because intentions don't control outcomes. A system that punishes dissent doesn't need villains to fail. It just needs confidence. Confidence that it's right. Confidence that opposition is immoral. Confidence that urgency excuses everything else. Ironically, smart people may be more vulnerable to this dynamic. Intelligence makes it easier to rationalize certainty. Education can sharpen arguments, but it doesn't eliminate bias. When smart people agree with each other, confidence compounds, and confidence unchecked can crowd out humility. Pluralism isn't about pretending all ideas are equal. It's about accepting that no group sees everything clearly. Once pluralism collapses, politics becomes a contest for moral dominance. Winning becomes justification. Losing becomes illegitimacy. That's when politics stops being about governance and starts being about survival. Disagreement isn't a flaw in democracy. It's a feature. It's how complex societies avoid catastrophic mistakes. When disagreement disappears, what replaces it isn't unity. It's silence. And silence is not consensus. It's pressure. In closing, if we can't disagree without assuming malice, if every opposing view feels like a threat, then politics becomes a zero-sum moral battle, and history suggests those don't end well. In the next episode, I want to explore why politics started feeling personal and what happens when identity and ideology become inseparable. This is the Honest Heretic. Let's talk before disagreement becomes impossible.